Hi folks, and welcome to the Vermoemarkt channel. And the woods are a little bit wet today, but there is no bad weather, but just bad attitude. Even though I can always relate if someone tries to stay cozy and warm if it's raining cats and dogs. So, well, no harm done. There's always another day and another way. But anyway, I want to have something with you and offer you my thoughts on a knife again. I like to do this from time to time to revisit my opinion in order to maybe modify it. And this is really a favorite of mine. This is the Farmer X Alox by Victorinox. And yes, I am talking about Victorinox a lot, but it's just that I am really fond of them, and I'm not getting paid to say this. Today I have sort of an idea, and the idea is to make a tea infuser. Since I am really fond of tea, and I also drink coffee, but I love love me a nice cuppa, and because I think, well, if life's crap, a cup of tea isn't, and I think this is just actually that simple. If you get a shitty situation and you calm down a little bit, sit down, pour yourself a cup of tea, or maybe even a little bit more, and get what comfort you can get at the moment. And that doesn't mean it must be the best Darjeeling there is, or what have you, but something that can take you out of emergency mode in order to stop, think, orienteer, and plan. And that matters. That's not only good for the morale, but it's also important in order to make decisions that might not get you in more fixes. Breathe, calm down, have a cuppa, and then decide what to do. And this is something, actually, I think a cup of tea goes a long way to survival. And it isn't what is portrayed on channels on YouTube, but I think it should, because a lot of times it's not about big knives or firearms, water purification systems, but about making decisions that get you out of the fix. That said, that can take some time. I'm in a fix myself at the moment, and well, no cup of tea will fix this alright in a moment's notice. But then, not a reason to not to have a little bit of calm and peace in the woods. Calm. And this is what I want to do now. I got a section of bamboo. Since I heard it is traditionally used in Japan for tea infusers too, if they even use tea infusers, because the traditional tea ceremony, I get sometimes I'm stumbling over the words, sorry. I want to carve off these little sprouts, and it has dried out a little bit, and so this is maybe a great test for the edge retention of the knife too, which not much I can tell you already isn't not too shabby. Another case of a really simple steel. It's essentially a kitchen knife steel. It's 1.4116, and but thoroughly and nicely tempered, and well, so it and bamboo is pretty much of a bastard to carve, as you might know. And I want to remove that bark thingy, or if it's even bark, I don't know, since bamboo is a grass. I don't know if you can by all means call it bark, the outer layer. And what you also want to do is to thin out the diameter or the wall thickness, because this is what it is. It's bamboo is a tubular plant, and actually I think it's a fascinating plant, and it's also invasive in Germany, so I think it's pretty much okay to cut down as much as you want and need, and I think it's a better way to cope with it than just complaining about everything going to shit because invasive plants. But if you put it to some use, actually I think that there is no harm done. And I'm cutting this section like so, and must I talk about the sharpness of the knife? I don't want to sound as if I were advertising the knives. It's not, and it's because it's not what I'm about here. It's just that it's a constant sense of wonder to me that they just, well, they get the job done. And given that I have a lot of knives, honestly, sometimes I think it's nearing some sort of addiction, and actually I cut down on buying knives. Well, pun intended. Out of necessity, to be honest, because I don't have any money at all at the moment. So sometimes I come across some designs that I really would love to buy, but alas, for no funds whatsoever. So that's good for my soul. Not piling up more stuff that I don't need, because I got a Vic, and that's something that's funny, because it's a rather basic knife, and all of them are pretty basic, and they simply get the job done. Now I want to remove that excess material over here by using the saw. Where is it now? It's a little bit of a different layout than on the 91mm models. The tool, however, is the same, and what I want to do is just if you look at this ring here, this is where the bottom of the piece is, and the blade of the saw being that sharp, you can actually use it freehand like I'm doing now. I'm locking my elbows to my side. Actually, if you don't have that much of experience yet, I strongly recommend that you don't do this, because it's pretty dangerous, and also you might want to work more in a pulling motion, and that's the great thing about the saw, that it works in both directions, and it's pretty sharp. And if you cut yourself with that saw, well, you might want to see a doctor, because it makes pretty nasty wounds. And yes, I tried. And by the way, I will provide you with a follow-up video when I'm trying it out, because at the moment it's actually, honestly, is just an idea, and so if you do it that way, I'm doing this for convenience reasons, for you to see what I'm doing, or halfway see what I'm doing. But if you do it that way, it also takes longer to do so. So you might want to put that on a flat surface and press down on it, maybe even with your foot. And I will make a video about some techniques, carving techniques with a Swiss Army knife, or in general. And what you see, I'm working my way around the diameter of the bamboo in order to make ends meet. And because that way it's a bit more controlled, and you can get more precise with your cut. But remember, you might want to put it on a flat surface, and if you don't get eager, you can even use this to carve a ring. More a reminder to myself, because I was getting eager. And if it is nearing completion, you might want to use really slight pulling motion, like so. And that way you are left with sort of a D-ring, and well, it cracked. Well, you can make a key ring from it. Just kidding, it's not robust enough for that. But if you were more careful than I was, then you might even be able to save this as a ring. And what I want to do now is I want to clean up my cut with my blade. And since this is a slip joint, remember to use sort of a pinch grip, and I'm just removing the burrs on the inside, more out of aesthetic reasons than anything, but so, and now I'm using a potato peeler grip, this one. Take note that I am not using my thumb like this, but I put it there, and so the blade isn't going anywhere, like so. because this is a pretty dangerous grip too, and you might not use it if you are a tad inexperienced. What I can always recommend is using an actual potato for practicing your cuts, because that way you don't have a lot of cutting resistance and a far more controllable cutting motion. And well, it's not beautiful yet, but yeah, well, seen worse, mostly in my drawers. Like so. And now there's another tool that will come in really handy, and this is the reamer on this knife. And what you want to do now is you want to put in some holes in the bottom, and I want to check for the thickness. What you need to do is you want to draw from the outside, drill from the outside, like so. And maybe I will. The problem is with this that your the reamer has a pretty big diameter, and depending on what tea you want to drink, there might be an issue with the holes being too big and you getting stuff in your cup. And any which way you want to drill from the outside, since the tip it's more of a conical shape, and you want to be really careful and just drill a really slight and tiny hole. Keep checking, and don't apply a lot of pressure. And you can see, if I were to really put some pressure on, I would definitely want to support my my reamer. But since I'm not using any pressure at all, only for marking off the hole, I can simply leisurely poke my holes. And you might even want to put a straight line on, but it's a natural material, and I'm in the woods making household items, and so maybe. But if the peasant can't swim, it's always the swimming trunks. So and I want to start with a cross. You can also use a sword awl for leatherworking if you don't overdo this, and the awl is pretty sharp. And, so. It's a little bit tricky to find the diameter of the hole that is just right and not too thick, you know. Actually, I haven't tried it, it's just an idea, and in another video I will try it out and show you whether or not it will work out. I think there would have been some sort of little weight on top or something, because, well, it's wood and it might float, and so I'm left with something like this. Now I will add holes here and make sort of a star from it, snowflake. Maybe halfway symmetrically, since as I said, I don't know whether this will work out. Or whether I will have to chew my tea. Oh well, that didn't work out. But no harm done, at least there's a hole. That's a problem if you're talking while working on something you have never done before, and you get distracted. So I don't recommend making YouTube videos first go. But so far I can say this is rather fun to make, and well, at the moment. I don't know what happens when I'm halfway done, and also it might be that the tea will taste funny. I will leave it at that now. What I want to add is I want to add something to hook it to the side of the cup. And where did I put it? For that I have prepared this piece of hazel, and in order to fix the hazel to the infuser, I will draw some holes in the side. And since bamboo is a fibrous material, and don't apply too much pressure, because it's pretty hard, but it's also rather brittle, and so you don't want to ruin it. What you also might contemplate is taking a bit of a wire or something, and maybe I will make another infuser by using wires, like so. And what we want to do now is we want to create a bigger diameter for the stick, not too big. But also, at a certain point, you get stuck, and then you need to maybe go to the other directions and really carefully break the shaving and go back a little bit and break the material that sticks, because if you apply too much force in the wrong direction, then you will get cracks. And so we get one hole, and now I'm halfway marking off where the second hole will be going. And hopefully I will be able to make ends meet. And nice metaphor. And don't forget not to apply a lot of pressure, because bamboo brittle and you don't want to crack your work. Also, what I realize is maybe it's better to use a constant drilling motion as opposed to the one I did, and I'm accustomed to this to do this when I have a lot of material to move, and this might be not optimal. Also, what I'm thinking at the moment is you might get a smaller diameter of hazel, or you can even take a bamboo splitting, and because, well, it doesn't need to take a lot of load. It's just in order to keep it on your cap, and so yeah, well, that works better. So you might want to use a constant drilling motion, and don't forget not to apply too much force. So, because that's what gets your reamer stuck, is that it isn't round if you do this constantly. And now you want to take out your main blade again, and if you take out another tool, always remember, it sounds like a commonplace, but people forget it sometimes. So I say this not because I think you're a little bit addled in the brain, but because at first, when I wasn't accustomed to using a Swiss Army knife, I needed to remind myself too sometimes. If you fold out one tool, fold in all the others. You always use only one tool at a time. And because, as I said, it sounds like a commonplace, but just remember this. And no harm done if you already know. It's not that I think you are a dumb ass or something, but so now the infuser or what have you is halfway done. I might want to add some holes around the diameter too, in order to get out to relieve some pressure and to get more infusion or something. But I will see that. I will try that out. I want to scrape out the inside a little bit, because there is this rather delicate skin inside there, and I don't want this in my teeth. So what you want, what you can do is you can use some clean and fine sand, and oh well. And you might want to check whether all the holes are working, and some aren't, so I need to take on my reamer all again and do some back to the drawing board. Well, it's a nice little project. You could also use a drill bit for it, and take a really small one. And you want to maybe some more holes, but smaller ones. And so like that. I think we're good to go. And what I want to do now is I want to reduce the diameter of this hazel piece, and I will show you something where you don't need any batoning at all. And I hope it works out, since I'm all crap at it, by the way. And what you do is you work your knife into the middle of the branch in a rocking motion like that, like so. Take watch your fingers, folks, and you just rock it back and forth. Don't apply too much force, and if it's in there, you can use a really sensible, lock your elbows to your side as far as it would go, a really sensible rocking motion to the side as well. And so you can, if you do it like so, it's also a little bit of stress for your locking mechanism, but not halfway as much as the batoning. And if you can control the split by turning it this and that way, and like so. And now we are left with two halves. And what you want to do is you want to take the side with as little marrow, like that one, like this here, as possible. And because the marrow is a potential failure point for the we're carving off what's left of the marrow. If there is a little bit left or something, that won't do you any harm, but well, left is something like this. Now you can work on the edges, and you want to create sort of a square since it won't be a square perfectly. And remember, you can always take if you take a smaller diameter branch, you don't have to do all the fuss I'm doing at the moment. So but actually it's a great practice too, because something like this is enhancing your precision. If you think you are precise enough, think again. And I'm not saying this because I thought it would say that I would be the big one, the big guy, but because practice makes perfect, and if you think you're perfect, you aren't. And actually, I honestly think that this is a really great thing. It's not something that we people on the internet, especially on social media, we always claim we are perfect. Well, we aren't, because we're human beings, and but we can learn. It's not that we have to learn. And now you're checking for the diameter, and there's ways to go still, which is a good thing, because you still want some beef to the stick still, and before you this is something I learned blacksmithing. Start with a square and make it round, and make the square as precise as possible. So, and then you can just put facets on, and the facets go a long way to creating a round diameter. Well, at least in theory. You want to have a sort of a wedge shape on one end, turn it the other way around, and don't bother trying to make it round yet. But carve precise facets, as precise as it would go. It's not rocket science either. That's not what I want to say. It's and the longer your shavings are, and the sharper your knife is for that, the cleaner the surfaces will be. And now I can, with really, really delicate movements, I can clean up in order to achieve that little bit of a conical shape. Putting sort of a tip on one end. Like so. Now I want to check again. Still a little bit too big, but it's thinner in the middle, so I need to So, and the original Japanese infusers I have seen did have sort of handle to them. Pokey, like so. And I think it would be already good to go, but I want to clean it up a little bit, and I want it a little bit more in the middle, and I want the thin end to the handle side, because then you can put it a little bit like that, and it would secure itself a little bit better. And take note, I'm just using really delicate cuts, not removing a lot of material, but really working my way. It's sort of a meditation process, and also well, it's not a heavy-duty survival item, and because this is something that I also find pretty intriguing, because back in the day, if you know me, you know that I'm pretty fond of that museum video Pukkola ja Kirvele on YouTube here, where they filmed some old Jätkan from Finland making household items, even a swing for a for a little girl, and stuff like that, or toys and boxes and doors and door hinges, all from wood and from local materials, but not with a makeshift attitude, not with a single-use attitude, but with the attitude in mind that it needed to be beautiful as well as functional, and just use a pukko and an axe, and they literally built entire households with that, and they made everything, and this is a big inspiration for me still, and so I think that we should, in the bushcraft crowd, we should, well, like that. It's not, well, not straight, not entirely straight, but I think it will work. For a first effort, I think it's okay-ish, and not the last one I will make, I think. And since you need, I think you guys also want a little bit of knife nerdism. I think this Pukko is a great multifunctional knife, and it does a lot of things. And but well, it's not always legal to carry. And this is legal to carry even in the UK. And the Swiss Army knife was designed for really similar purposes like in the Pukko, and so I think this is something it is a tool, and it goes a long way to create really beautiful things, to have good tools at hand, and keep it sharp. And you've seen me using most of the tools, and you could even use the cap lifter for the splitting process. If you want a little bit more security, take this one. Just rock your knife into the piece of wood, and how will I show you what I mean? You can putting that back in, and you take the main blade and rock it into the front of the wood and open up the crack, and I think I ruined it, but then you insert the cap lifter like so, and then you move it inside there, and and you have a better lever ratio, and you don't risk your main blade by levering, and it is sturdier, and you don't ruin your blade. And just like that, you get these splittings without battening at all and risking your locking mechanism too much. It really depends on the wood you're using, but for stuff like this, you should use wood that doesn't have any branches anyway, and knots and stuff like that. So if you remember, a knife is made for cutting and not for prying and levering. That's not you see, battening is not a moral failure. It's just and that's not what I'm saying. It's not something that it's not my religion not to batten with a knife. I have knives which I can use for battening. All right, it's my Castrum SHK10 or my Mora Gorbech are awesome knives for hard work and battening and stuff like that. But this isn't a knife for battening, and something in my eye. Sorry. So this is it's a robust folding knife. It's got these alloy scales. They might get scratches, or if you toss them around or what have you, but they will stay on. The blade is a little bit tougher than the one on the 91 millimeters, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because it's a little less slicey. It's still slicey, and to me this is one of my favorite bushcraft knives, and it's got some awesome scissors, awesome quality, not a little bit of play in them, and the spring needs a little bit of care. You don't want to use it in a hurry. The awl is, you have seen me doing really precision work with this, but it's also really great for reaming bigger diameters. So I've tried to make flutes from hazel from it with it and stuff, and you can it's suited for a lot of awesome projects, and to me there are a few better knives like that. I do miss a little bit, and actually this is in my EDC pouch in my backpack. This is in my pocket always. It's the Huntsman, since my favorite would be the Ranger, since it also has a metal file and a wood chisel on it. But what I really miss is the little carving blade for more delicate work. But no harm done. This isn't the biggest blade there is either, so it's still dexterous and what have you. It comes in at around 69 euros, 62 euros, I think. And I think this is a really valuable tool to have in your pocket. And does like the all of the Huntsman, which is also suitable for sewing, and it does like the corkscrew. Some say that's a good thing. I also enjoy myself a good bottle of wine and wine picnicking, and so I'm not, or the corkscrew can also come in handy to remove the marrow from elder tree, and so this is, you need to know what you want to get. This is what I want to say, and this is a pretty rugged version of the regular Huntsman, and if I show you the blades alongside, you can see that the one on the Farmer X is a little bit thicker, but it's also still under 3 mil, and it's still absolutely slicey, and so, well, for a lot of projects this is just really does fit the bill perfectly. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you got a little bit of inspiration, maybe to make your own tea infuser, and to well, some other projects. And bamboo is an awesome material that lends itself to a lot of interesting projects. Fire pistons, which I also want to try, and you could use the principle to try and make a water purifier. On the other hand, I want to emphasize that you need a little bit to be a little bit careful around water purification, because, well, my father was a water engineer, and I have seen firsthand what can happen if water purification goes wrong, and you don't want that. Trust me. So maybe you might want to make one for the hood of it, and it's maybe great. And in a really emergency situation where there is get some water or die, well, you might as well try it. If the situation is as grave and dire, to make some sort of water purification device. But E. coli is not a joke, and water poisoning is also not a joke, and so please, folks, just be sensible out there. Just use your brain. That's what it is for. Not your head's not just there in order to put a hat on. So that just not saying that you are all dumb asses, but well, this is YouTube, and I want to well, it's not, I disclaim all liability, but you might have gathered by now that I won't try to tell you something that won't sell you aliens or something. I wanted to say, make yourself a tea infuser, and you're safe side of sorry, and you know, and the same principle could be possible to could be able to purify water, and I think boiling goes a long way to purify water. But, well, it's not romantic, and this is what I find lacks on survival tutorials on YouTube often. There are a lot of awesome channels, and a lot of them I do have the privilege to be acquainted with, and I'm really glad, and I feel honored that some of them even are here. And that's a really great honor, because, folks, you are my idols, and I wouldn't be doing this stuff if it weren't for you. And so I'm not talking about these, but everyone wants to be a YouTube star, and then you watch videos where they just say, well, and do this and that, and your water will be purified. No, it won't be. Not necessarily so. If you really want to get some insight on how these things work, you might want to go over to Rocco Hartwig, who made an awesome series on water purification, and in my opinion, he really did it in a way which is really sensible, and he had some analysis made, done how the water was before and after, and he tested several devices, and so really interesting series, and you might want to go over to him and watch the videos. He also likes the sub, and like the next guy, and awesome human being, by the way, and but I just want to say, well, be careful, folks. Be careful out there. It's not, survival is not a game, even though it comes across with all the shows going on and stuff. It's not, and it's not fun games. Well, it is until someone loses his head, and don't let that happen, is what I want to say. Other than that, I want to say what you always hear at the end of my videos: stay sane and healthy out there, and crafting something for an hour or something, just an hour in the forest does wonders for your mind and for your mental health and for your resilience. And so stay sane and healthy and take good care out there. I hope to see you soon. Still no phone contact, but you know how it is. So see you soon, and I hope you find some things to enjoy. Bye.